If you're doing a DIY home golf simulator build, the projector, I would say without a doubt, is probably the area that causes the most head scratching and is where you need to do your research. I'm just going to share my setup that I've got behind me and what actually does work. It's obviously only applicable to the space that I've got, and I'm sure throughout your research you'll be looking at a number of different avenues of where to get your information. So hopefully this is just another one that you can maybe use to help you get the perfect setup for your projector. The projector sits from the lens to the floor is 2.3 meters, and from the lens to the impact screen is 2 meters. As you can see, it's on an angle, and I've had to apply or change some of the keystone settings just to make sure that I can get the image straight. And that's mounted in the middle of the simulator space, which is 3.1 meters wide. The screen that the image is displayed on is 2.6 meters wide by 1.7 meters high. The screen itself is actually larger than this. It's about 3 by 3. But to cover up all of the fixings, I've got a piece of material that hangs from the ceiling. I've got a board at the bottom, an angled board, that's been covered, and I've got the curtains down each side. They are all there to hide the fixings, just to aesthetically make it look a little bit better. And then obviously doing that, you reduce the size of the screen, but it's reduced to the size that the projector can display the full image on. So there's literally nothing left, only a tiny slither you'll see around the sides of screen that's not actually being used. So I'll run through a few of the settings that I've got the projector set on. So this is the one I get asked about a fair bit, which is the aspect ratio. So currently, for those measurements that I've given you, this is on 1610 and gives a full screen display. I'll go through a few of these setting changes. So we've got auto, which as you can see, just drop the height out a little bit. And then we've got 4 aspect ratio, 4.3 or 4 to 3. You can see down the sides now, it's lost a hell of a lot of screen space. It's just obviously more of a square image. And obviously for this screen, there's absolutely no point me using this. I think this is more designed for smaller spaces. Back to 16.9, 16.10 again, you can see displays the full image. Next one along is just picture mode. I've got it set on cinema. I probably think there's a few other ones in there. You've got user 1, user 2, bright, presentation, God knows, and back to cinema. Cinema's the one for me. You got your brightnesses, contrast, and the color ones, and the color saturations and everything else down there as well. Next one along is source. So this is just sourcing from wherever, it's PC or wherever you're going to be getting this picture fed from. This is another one just down here that you'll need to adjust depending on where you have your projector set. So just see what the other settings are. You can see now you've got projector, front table, rear table, blimey, rear ceiling, and back to front ceiling. So those are the different settings that you've got dependent on how you've mounted your projector. The other one that we've got there is baud rate, just there. Don't really know what the hell that is, to be honest with you. If you're into audio visual, I'm sure you're all over that, but I ain't, and I ain't got a clue. So that's what mine's set at. And then just finally, we've got the resolution, 1920 by 1080, 60 Hertz. And those are the settings that I've got my projector on. I'm just gonna show you just what the pitch looks like a little bit closer. So this projector is around about, I think it's about 1,100 Australian dollars. I'll leave a model number in the description. It's a BenQ short throw projector. The screen that I've got here, I bought off Amazon, 200 and something Aussie dollars. It's a cheap one. I haven't invested money into my screen as yet. It's something that I'll definitely be doing at a later stage when the funds become available. And I get enough brownie points in the bank again. But as you can see, look, the image is really bloody good. You know, the first time I came onto this hole itself, I've just noticed I've just been because this screen up here, when you're smashing balls into it with wedges and stuff, and it's been sewn up, it ends up looking like it needs a haircut, which I've just given it up there, and a little bit has landed on the screen right there. So I'm gonna get rid of that. But as you can see, you know, we're having actually a very warm day in Melbourne today for a change. It's been pissing down with rain for about the last God knows how many months, but we've got a nice sunny day. That water there looks literally good enough to jump into straight off this tee. It's incredible image when I think it's just a cheap screen and not an overly expensive projector. I know that there are 4K projectors out there and you know, the expensive impact screens that don't have the creases in like mine does, and will display a better image. They must be absolutely out of this world, you know, and if you've got one of them, fair play to you. But for this kind of money, this is what you get. If you found that video useful in any way, please consider giving it a like. If you want to see any more content from me, please subscribe to the channel. Best of luck if you're embarking on your home golf simulation project. If you're not, have a nice day and we'll see you around.